Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Burcu, call me Blue. My channel is all about finance. I cover different topics in every video. These are all education purposes. I'm not an investment advisor. Please do your own due diligence. Thank you and enjoy the video. Thanks a lot. Today we'll talk about how investment banks make money. In doing so, we'll cover two prominent bank holding companies, JP Morgan Chase and Goldman Sachs. We'll focus on their investment banking divisions in particular. We'll lay out the functions of two major divisions under investment banking, namely banking and markets. First off, please note that the information I provide here are from annual reports of these banks, being all public information, and the comments I make are my own opinions and my own interpretation of the written facts. Let's start with JP Morgan. JP Morgan reports its revenues and income under four major business segments. These four categories can be grouped into two. You can see here consumer businesses and wholesale businesses. Since JP Morgan is one of the largest bank holding companies in the world, it's useful to understand its structure to get a sense as to how bank holding companies and their investment banking divisions operate in general. So when we look at this, like why the businesses are categorized as consumer versus the wholesale. So the consumer businesses covers regular retail customers doing traditional banking, collecting deposits and providing loans at the core when we look at. On the other hand, the wholesale business is called as wholesale because that business covers large clients and the transaction sizes are large as well. So as you can see from this table, like under the wholesale business, we can see corporate and investment banking, commercial banking, and asset wealth management. So commercial banking division mainly does the traditional banking for the corporates. Investment banking division is like it covers the activities that are taking place in the primary and secondary markets that we will delve into. And asset and wealth management, on the other hand, like it has two subdivisions, namely asset management and wealth management. So asset management covers the institutional clients, whereas the wealth management covers the high net worth individuals. Particularly, you can connect this with the portfolio management and advisor services. Let's focus on the investment banking segment now. Under the investment banking, we can see banking and markets divisions. There is a Chinese wall in between. This wall is kind of an analogy to represent the barriers against the exchange of information between these two divisions. The wall is particularly critical related to the flow of material non-public information from banking to the markets. For example, mergers and acquisitions related deals or other deals related to origination, which are material and non-public information at the moment, at that time. So to understand the banking and the markets department, we can do very basic categorization. So for banking, we can say that it covers the primary markets, and the markets division covers the secondary markets. Banking department is, the bankers in the banking department are kind of matchmakers, and the traders in the markets department are market makers. So we will delve into what exactly primary market and secondary market means, and why we say that the bankers at the investment banking are kind of matchmakers and the traders at the markets department are market makers, and what does market maker mean. Before going deep into investment banking, let's look at under which business segments Goldman Sachs reports its activities. We can see from the chart that Goldman has four main business segments. While JP Morgan categorizes banking and markets under corporate and investment banking segment, Goldman Sachs includes banking under investment banking and markets under global markets. throughout this video, when we say investment banking, we cover banking division, and when we say global markets, we cover the markets department. As you can see from the chart, Goldman's other two businesses are asset management and consumer and wealth management. Again, JP Morgan categorizes the wealth management under asset management, whereas Goldman reports the wealth management under consumer and wealth management. Also, another difference is that Goldman has corporate lending under investment banking division, whereas JP Morgan has a separate commercial banking division. So what do primary and secondary markets mean? Primary markets are the markets where the securities are originated. So for instance, bond issuances or equity offerings like initial public offerings or follow-ons. And secondary markets are the markets where the securities are traded, like investors buy stocks on the secondary markets. So why we call investment bankers as matchmakers? So for the issuances, investment bankers are kind of intermediary between issuers and investors. For mergers and acquisitions, investment bankers not only provide advisory services regarding the deal processes, but also they help find the right target for the acquirer and the right acquirer for the target. So we'll go into that for the strategic M&As and financial M&As where the sponsors involved. So why we call traders in the global markets as market makers? So traders at investment banks become a buyer for the seller and seller for the buyer. They quote bid and asks and profit from the bid and ask spreads. Goldman makes markets in fixed income, equity, currency and commodity products as well as stock, options and futures. JP Morgan is by far the largest market maker in the fixed income space like bonds and swaps. So of course there are other areas it makes, JP Morgan makes market as well. So market makers provide prices to clients and they provide liquidity to facilitate price discovery. This video is very introductory. We'll deep dive into investment banking later, the role of industry and product teams. As the product teams, the role of debt capital markets, equity capital markets, leverage finance, mergers and acquisitions, financial sponsors teams. For that, please check out my blog at bdy2101.com and stay tuned for the next video. Hasta la próxima. Thanks a lot.